So, while the flight was taxiing, I looked at my brother beside me and I said, I'm making a video about this. I recently had to attend my cousin's engagement in Bangalore, so my dad took my grandparents 2 days prior to the event and we left the day before. You know why? I ain't telling you why. Geez, guys, it'll get too personal. The flight was during lunchtime. When we woke up during our usual time in the morning, we had our breakfast and arrived at the airport pretty hassle free. You know, with these app based cab services, things are always unpredictable. Always unpredictable. At the security check, the army person will do the checking, right? My mom stood in the queue before me. After she went in, the metal detector showed green. So I assumed that I had to go in and proceeded. My mom and the army lady inside looked at me startled. So furiously, the army lady says in Hindi, "Why are you here? I didn't call you." And then she switches in English and says, "Go and stand before the yellow line." No, 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 no. There are two things to be triggered here. You did not have to be that rude, lady. It was just a tiny little mistake. And second, women, you just got so lucky that I'm really fluent in Hindi. In a country that speaks so many different languages, you must not assume that I speak the same language as you do. That is India 101, people. People do not speak the same regional language as you do, so you just cannot assume. Because I was so nice yet triggered, I replied to her in Hindi. It showed green, and that's why I came in. And I walked back. During my turn, she explained that after 10 seconds, the thing turns green. So she seemed a bit calm this time, so I didn't do anything much. Like, I could have done anything about it. I started shooting videos for my Instagram reels after this. It got like 1,000 views, a number I haven't seen on my work. My mom had asked me at a stall if I wanted to eat anything. I politely declined because my dad said that we had a meal booked in our flight, and I was really excited about this. We boarded the flight, and at this point, I texted my friend, and she said she had something going on at her house and listed the items for lunch. My stomach was growling looking at this. I told her I was going to have cup noodles and mixed fruit juice for lunch. Finally, the flight took off. Remember that I told you that the flight was during lunchtime? The whole flight seemed very hungry. And when they started the flight services, all of us seemed a bit relieved. The air hostess asked the first passenger to be served if he wanted cashews or cookies. Now, I thought he just opted for snacks instead of lunch, and I calmed down a bit. He asked if there's anything else, and she replied that they were out of stock. Now, it makes sense. Nobody stocks snacks for lunchtime, right? The man ended up taking up cookies. Now, one person, right? One passenger, right? Nope, you got it absolutely wrong. She asked the exact same options to every person before us. It then stuck to me that there was actually no meal. Like, dude, who in the world calls a jar of 5 cookies or a case of 10 cashews a meal? I may as well eat air and call myself an austere monk. I did not pay for this. My mom then took 2 cases of nuts and a jar of cookies and 3 pomegranate juice packets for each of us. I then knew the meaning of hungry. I literally sobbed for a while. I sat by the window, I covered my face and sobbed for a while. My brother just laughed at me. My mother closed her eyes in vain and waited for the flight to land. Meanwhile, everybody else ripped open the food that was provided, and I did the same, and I felt like a wolf. I haven't gulped food down like that with utter gusto ever in my life. After landing while taxiing, I looked at my brother and I told him about making this video, and he simply nodded. Now, let me tell you, Bangalore airport is so big that it takes 1/8 of the time to just taxi. 1/8 of the flight time, I'm saying. I sent this picture to my friend, and this is how she replied. Do you see that shock? Yeah, I just really hope that you felt the same. After a while, we reached my aunt's place, and I ate a full South Indian meal at 3 p.m. But when my dad came to pick us up, I asked him as to why he did not warn us about the meal. Apparently, he did tell my mother, and she didn't tell us all along. While returning back home, my dad treated us siblings to the airport lounge in Bangalore. I ate all these foods. Do you see them all on the screen? I have labeled them. So overall, I ate a lot of food during the past couple of weeks, and it's pretty crap and it's utter junk, high calorie food, and I need to go work out. and I need to burn it off. So, bye.